When I look at today's social media, it always takes me back to something Jesus said in the Bible in Matthew, I think 23 or so. Now, in this chapter of Matthew, Jesus is pretty much going off on these Pharisees and these Sadducees about their hypocrisy. And when I look at social media these days, I see the same type of hypocrisy going on. Many people who are running social media strain at a gnat and then swallow a camel. And what Jesus said when he meant that is that you will get upset over the least little thing somebody presents, but then big things go right by people that are more egregious. And when I look at places like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, I see this on a daily basis. They will strain at a gnat, which is an opinion someone presents in a Facebook status, but they will swallow camels such as hardcore pornography, child pornography, racist and white supremacists presenting their views, but someone presenting an opinion that people don't like, that's going to get somebody Facebook jail. And that's going to get somebody kicked off of YouTube or kicked off of Twitter or kicked off of Instagram. An opinion they have a problem with, but hardcore content that people post on the regular, they have absolutely no problem with. And that is the hypocrisy of these so-called community standards on places like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and many other social media places. They're not about creating a safer social environment. They're all about creating a veneer that makes people feel like there's some sort of safety. Meanwhile, your white supremacists are allowed to say the N-word, post the N-word, talk about how they want to kill N-words, talk about their guns, post pictures of Klans rallies, and other things that they want to post. Hardcore pornography goes right past Facebook's filters and is posted on the regular. And on YouTube, you have the same thing. You have racist and white supremacists posting their points of view on the world. Meanwhile, if an intelligent black person like myself presents an opinion on any of these social platforms, they are threatened with censorship by having their posts deleted, or they're placed in a place called Facebook jail, or on YouTube they're having their videos flagged and in some cases deleted. Anything that presents an opinion that people don't like, small things, these social media platforms have no problem. They have a problem with. They're arguing about it. People are ready to go to war over that. Meanwhile, really disgusting content that pretty much would be considered vile and offensive goes right past them. Again, straining at a gnat and swallowing a camel. And we look at this social media, and this is what I'm seeing these days on this new social media platform. People they don't see how hypocritical they are these days. They're mad at a black person for presenting intelligent content or an opinion that they don't like. Meanwhile, they're going to sit there and let hardcore pornography go right by them. Because I had posted in people post this on my timelines and stuff, and I've had it posted and I've seen it posted in the lines. And the whole thing is nobody wants to go report those people, but they report somebody for expressing an opinion, or they get upset because somebody says something that they don't like. And this is supposed to be the so-called making Facebook and YouTube and other social media safer, but I don't see how it's going to get safer. All I see it as is, more and more importantly, again, modern-day Pharisees, modern-day Sadducees, trying to censor people, just like they tried to censor Jesus when Jesus was trying to tell the truth. Because the people who are trying to tell you the truth, as I see it, are the people who are trying to help people, because they see social media as a way to reach out to people, to try to provide them with information that will enrich their lives and take them to the next level. Meanwhile, the people who don't want to hear these views, what they want to do is censor people and get those people off of social media, not understanding that when you get those people off of social media, you allow the platform to be hijacked by pornographers and people who want to create content that is really destructive to people. These people they have no problem with. A white racist, a white supremacist, a hardcore pornographer, and a child pornographer, because some people even post child porn on Facebook, and Facebook's filters and their robots and their people don't seem to find this stuff. But all the other stuff, an opinion somebody presents in a status, they can find that and take that person and put them in Facebook jail for 1 day, 2 days, 30 days. They can find that person, but they can't delete an account that's posting pornography on the regular in people's timelines. They can't find that. It shows you how they strain at a gnat and swallow a camel regarding their community standards. And the same thing with these other social media platforms. YouTube won't monetize a video that presents a political view or uses certain words, but they will sit there and monetize content that is pretty much would be considered extremely offensive, like white supremacists. They will pretty much monetize these people who are promoting, as they said by their guidelines, hate speech, like your Ku Klux Klan and your neo-Nazis and your skinheads. But but somebody saying, basic words that they would say they were not going to monetize that video because it's considered offensive. Again, showing us how they strain at gnats and swallow camels here on social media. And this hypocrisy, people need to start calling it out because that's what it is. It's hypocrisy. You say you want one type of content, but then in that content is offensive, but this other content skates right by you, and you don't have a single problem with it. And when I look at that in relation to the context of the First Amendment, you can't say one content is fine and then go after and then let the other one pass. Both forms of content, again, are protected by the Constitution, and that's where people really need to start calling these social media platforms on. Yes, you want to have a private platform, but when you make it a public forum, you have to make it open for both sides to have equal timeline. You can't say that this person has freedom of speech, but this person doesn't. And when you do that, you're pretty much getting ready to shoot yourself in the foot. And this is why I see a class action lawsuit coming to these social media websites, because they're trying to create a so-called safe space, but what they're doing is making it unsafe for them in the legal arena. Because once you start trying to censor people, then you're setting yourself up for a class action lawsuit, and eventually pretty much the end of these social media websites, because you can't sit there and try to take advertiser dollars or try to make a place that's pleasing for everyone, and then not understanding that all you're going to be doing, again, is straining at a gnat and then swallowing a camel in most cases. Because I look at social media, in my times when I'm doing book promotions and trying to post statuses, and this is what I'm seeing. He's straining at gnats but swallowing camels, and trying to please people who, again, are beyond being pleased whatsoever, because they want to make sure that social media only follows one opinion, their opinion, and you can't have that on an open forum. Open forums are supposed to be where people are able to express their viewpoints, their ideas, and give us a snapshot of their lives. And if we don't like what they're presenting, you have two options. You can unfriend them, or you can just hit the red X at the top of the screen. Those are your two options. But most people these days, they don't want to exercise those options. They want to be able to try to control the internet to the extreme and make it the way they want it to be without thinking about the needs of others and how they want to express themselves. They want to make it one way, and the sad part is, when you have a place like the World Wide Web, everything just can't go one way. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.